So many of us have heard the term be present or stay in the now. But what does that really mean? Many individuals talk about meditation as a tool to become present. But from a scientific point of view, I want to offer you a new way to understand what it means to be fully present and how you can use your meditation practice to transcend your body, your environment, and time in order to reach the sweet spot of the generous present moment.
One of the biggest challenges you face in regards to the principle of decision. It sounds like this. I'm going to do this as soon as I get the money. I'm going to do this as soon as the kids finish school. I'm going to do this as soon as I get the promotion. One idea after another. The decision is not executed. Why is it that approximately 90 or 90-some% of the population stay there? Well, Hill found out through a survey of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure. They experienced it because of lack of decision. That was the major cause of their failure.
Stress can be defined as a state of mental or emotional strain or tension, resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. But how do different kinds of stress cause long-term effects on our brain and body? Stress usually is created when we can't predict the future outcome, when we feel that we can't control the situation, or when we have the perception that there's a threat, a danger, or a perception that something's going to get worse in our lives. You may not be able to control everything that happens in your life or your outer world. However, is it possible that you can learn how to control your inner world of thoughts and feelings? I'm your host, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and in the previous episode, we went into depth on the ancient practice of meditation and what it means to be truly present. In this episode, we're going to identify different kinds of stress, show you the long-term effects of stress, how it can create illness in your body, and once you understand what stress can do to you, it's my hope that the information you'll learn will empower you to make some important changes in your life.
It's said that desire is the effort of an unexpressed possibility within, seeking expression without, through our action. Let me repeat that. Desire is the effort of the unexpressed possibility within, seeking expression without, through our action. Now the trick here, how do we get it within? Do you know, I have heard, and you've probably heard, many sales managers, vice presidents of sales, if we could only build desire. And they say it as if they can't. The truth is, they can. You will never desire something you don't want. You will not desire it. If you're going to build desire, and desire is really the yeast that raises the dough, make no mistake about that. It's what really fuels the engine. The desire has to be there, and it has to be strong, and you can build it, and then you can add power to it. But you have to understand how your mind functions. And if you don't understand how your mind functions, the understanding of desire is going to escape you. And that's what happens with most people. They never really focus. They never develop the desire because they make the wrong decisions. Now think.
Is it possible that your brain has been conditioned and habituated by you to view your outer reality in a very limited way? When you focus your attention on a daily basis in this three-dimensional reality, your brain naturally narrows its focus on everything material. As you learned in the last episode, this is called a convergent focus, and it's the hormones of stress that amplify this process. Is it possible there are other ways to focus your attention to break the habit of how you see the world? And can you make your brain begin to work differently? I'm your host, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and in the previous episode, we went into great detail on the difference between survival and creation. In this episode, we're going to identify in a very simple way the different types of brainwaves to show you the skill of being able to consciously control your own brainwaves.
Do you know, every idea that reaches your subconscious mind will affect your life and is a suggestion. Doesn't matter where it comes from, it must come through your conscious mind. So it would have to fall under the category of autosuggestion. Now, you may not be paying any attention to what's going in. All advertising is based on suggestion. Suggestion is one of the most powerful forces, if not the most powerful force in your life. Many of the suggestions that are reaching your subjective mind are not serving you. They're not serving me. What we have to do is ask ourselves, is that idea serving me? Is it help moving me in the direction I really want to move? Remember, everything originates in the mind. It's never her, it's never him, it's never it, it's never them, it's never the economy. It's the suggestions that are being fed into that powerhouse, your subjective mind.
Faith is blended with the vibration of thought. The subconscious mind instantly picks up the vibration, translates it into its spiritual equivalent, and transmits it to infinite intelligence.
I think you'd agree faith is a pretty interesting subject. And I have found after studying this for over half a century, it's a subject not a lot of people understand. They talk about it a lot, but the faith is pretty thin. There's a wonderful story about the Flying Wallendas, one of those high wire acts where they walk on a wire from building to building. Well, apparently they were over at the gorge at Niagara Falls. Now, the gorge is a treacherous body of water underneath. Everything goes every which way. And you go in there, you're pretty well gone. Well, one of the Wallendas had a wire across. And of course, there was all kinds of people there because they had advertised this, it was going to be televised. And the people are there watching and cheering this guy on. And he gets up and he walks right across from one side to the other. Beautiful, balancing his pole, feet stayed on the wire. And he comes back to the other side and he gets somebody to hand him a wheelbarrow. And he puts the wheelbarrow on it. He said, "You think I can make it?" And everybody's yelling, "Yeah, you can make it." And he said, this one guy, "Do you have faith I can make it?" And the guy says, "Yeah, I got faith." He said, "Get in the barrel." Boom. Like that, the guy's faith was gone. See, most people have blind faith. The first bump in the road and the faith is gone. Well, I'm going to get you, or suggest that you look at faith here from a totally different perspective. I had a man, Clarence Smithson. Clarence Smithson was in charge of equal opportunity with World Book Organization. And I was working with their group, and I asked him, I said, "Clarence, what's your definition of faith?" He said, "Faith is the ability to see the invisible, to believe in the incredible, and that will permit you to receive what the masses call impossible." Now, I'm going to repeat that. Faith is the ability to see the invisible, see something no one else can see, to believe in the incredible, and that will permit you to receive what the masses call impossible. Actuarial department of any insurance company, they'll tell you, very small percentage of the population end up financially well off. Less than 5%. Think, 90% of our population are struggling all the way through life. And there's no need of it. When you understand the subconscious mind, everything will begin to change because you're going to start to use it properly. Most people are not using it properly. They are using it, everyone uses it, but if you don't use it right, you're toast. It's all over. When you do use it properly, I'm going to tell you, you're going to stand out like a giraffe in a herd of field mice. You're going to be such a winner. You see, the subconscious mind is in every molecule of your being. Think about that. And you, the conscious part of you, your conscious mind dictates what you're going to turn over to it. There's a critical part you want to understand about the mind. First of all, the conscious mind can only entertain one idea at a time. Try and entertain two, you got confusion. All ideas must come from the conscious to get to the subconscious. You cannot go to the subconscious mind any other way but through the conscious mind. So you can't be entertaining positive and negative emotions at the same time. It's one.
Ancient Eastern cultures throughout time understood the sacred science and the power of the individual energy centers of the body. Of course, they had different names for them that were related to the contemporary language of that specific time. For example, I'm sure you've heard the word chakra, but I question how many people truly comprehend what that word actually means. Fast forward to today, and there are many misinterpretations and misunderstandings of that simple word, as well as many others, which both weaken the meaning of it and reduce our ability to interact with these mystical centers. In this episode, I'd like to take you on a journey into the mystery of your body and offer you a fresh new understanding of the different energy centers to show you how you can create coherence in them, just like you learned to create coherence with your brain and with your heart.